This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for this webinar with TP-Link. Today's host is Martin Proper. He is the Senior Product Marketing Manager, and he'll be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to submit them in the question box, and Martin will answer them at the end of the presentation. I'll read them off to him one at a time. Thank you, Martin, very much for your time and for being with us this morning. I am finished for now. The floor is now yours.
Hey, thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, for taking the time out of your day. We truly appreciate you taking the time to learn a little bit more about TP-Link's SMB solutions. So TP-Link as a company, we have quite a few different divisions, if you will. TP-Link has both networking for consumer and SOHO. We have smart home products, smart bulbs, plugs, switches, accessories to go along with that, cameras. We also work with the service provider community, and we also, believe it or not, also manufacture cell phones. They're not here in the United States, but they are available in other parts of the world. So just to give you a little bit of background on who TP-Link is beyond that, we have 42 global offices. We operate in 120 countries. We've got over 23,000 employees. Why so many employees? A lot of people ask. We're actually our own manufacturer. We manufacture everything from top to bottom, as opposed to utilizing a contract manufacturer. That allows us to have very tight control over our quality. It allows us to bring products in at incredibly reasonable prices for our customers. And it makes us quick to market when we need to pivot or make a change within a product. So solutions for the SMB, we make everything from core to edge, from switching to routing, Wi-Fi, as well as outdoor wireless for broadband connectivity. And one other thing about all of our products, they all come with a lifetime warranty. No questions asked. You call, and as long as you didn't run it over with a truck, we will replace the product for the lifetime of its use. So when we look at our ecosystem, we have switches that range from as small as a 5-port all the way up to a 52-port. PoE, 10 gig, stackable, you name it, and we've got a switch that will fit just about every wired solution for your infrastructure. With wireless, we've got multiple solutions for indoor and outdoor access points. They all offer PoE placement, so deployment is very easy. And it's all managed from a single pane of glass from our AuroNet controller software. We also have accessories to go along with that. So we have antennas, we have media converters, PoE injectors, and lots of other accessories to go along with your networking needs. So our EAP series, or software controlled access points, have different speed offerings. We offer everything from 802.11n all the way up through AC products. So when we look at the AuroNet EAP route or access points, ceiling mount for optimal RF performance. We also use Broadcom enterprise chipsets within these. Within the AuroNet, we have our high end and we have our lower end. The high end, we use Broadcom enterprise chipsets. That gives us airtime, fairness, beamforming, and band steering. Airtime fairness is definitely great for those mixed environments where you've got AC clients and you've got end clients. With airtime fairness, that allows you to basically not be held back by a slower end client. When we look at some of the speed differences, so we're up to AC 1900 on our high end, 1200 on the and 1750 within our mid tier, and then AC 12 on our Qualcomm chipset at the low end. The Qualcomm products, the EAP 245, EAP 225, those are going to compete with some of your Ubiquity products out there, if you guys are familiar with those. Now, within the outdoor access points, we offer two different products, if you will. We do have EAP products that are outdoor rated. The speeds on those won't go up as high as our AC products. It's going to be a 2.4 gigahertz rated for outdoor usage. But again, it is going to be PoE for placement and for, pardon me, and for more compatibility. When we look at power, the outdoor access points, obviously we want those to have adjustable power for transmission. Reason being for that is just how far do you want to throw your wireless network. If it's just on an EAP, you can control it for, say, a business if you wanted to light up a outdoor patio for your employees, or if it's if you're using it for a restaurant, you can actually light up a patio, you can light up warehouses, what have you. The other thing we have here are our CPE devices. Our CPE are for point-to-point or point-to-multipoint, and they have considerably greater range than the EAP series when we're looking at outdoor connectivity. When we look at connectivity on a CPE device, we're measuring in kilometers rather than meters. So these are definitely for a different setup than your standard EAP. When we look at our AuraNet controller software, what we have is a very simple to use, very intuitive application. We have layer 3 management, and when we look at what this ends up looking like for your deployment, suppose you've got headquarters, you've got multiple branches, and you want to be able to manage from a single pane of glass as the IT department, wireless and infrastructure within all of those locations. So the controller software, we host that at headquarters. So for TP-Link, we host our North America headquarters here in Brea, California, and we've got other locations. We actually have a warehouse down the road in Fontana. We manage all of that locally, and whether you're a restaurant, whether you're a consulting firm, whatever it is that you are, the EAP software actually scales with you. So you can manage, we've seen deployments of up to 500 access points managed from a single controller. When we look at, sorry, give me just a second here. When we look at layer 3 management, you can also manage this across multiple IP ranges. So if you're looking at managing multiple locations, and that's what a lot of our customers are doing these days, you're managing through the cloud. So I do my port forwarding through my local network, and then on my different branches, I map the appropriate ports through the controller, and now I can discover my access points automatically. So auto discovery works remotely, remote management works, all of this right through a web interface that runs on your PC. So it doesn't matter how diverse your infrastructure or topology is, you can manage this all through the cloud from one location. So this is what our interface looks like for the EAP software. When we look at this, it's very simple to use. interface, when we look at the UI, you're able to overlay a map of your facility. We can have multiple maps for multiple facilities. From the drop-down, I can choose different locations. From here in Brea, I'm able to manage the Brea location, our Fontana office, and within each of the access points, I'm able to manage the load balancing. I'm able to manage how much transmit power I'm using for each access point. From inside the EAP controller software, I can detect rogue access points. So if I have someone that's thrown up an access point off of the off of one of the LAN ports at their desk, I can detect that right through this application. Load balancing, I can control how strong a client signal has to be before they connect to a specific access point. This allows me to control the user experience. When I control how many people are on an access point, I can also control or limit the bandwidth, so I don't have one person running away with all of the bandwidth on a specific access point. So while it may limit their download speeds, it creates a better experience for everyone within the office. When we look at some of the other functions that are available within the Oranet software, we also have captive portal authentication. And for the captive portal, that's really great for hospitality. So when we're looking at hotels, restaurants, or even service stations, we're able to create a customized captive portal that will allow your customers access to the Wi-Fi that you're providing. Now that captive portal can be used as a login where you're providing credentials to them. You can provide promotions to them. You can capture relevant data. You can use it to capture email addresses and things like that that can be used for marketing. When we look at some of our customers, they're using multiple floors within a hotel. They're managing those all through the Oranet software. For restaurants, you can even create timers on how long people are allowed to have access to the Wi-Fi. So you can help create turnover within a restaurant environment. With a service station, you know, you're sitting there, you're waiting for your car to be worked on. It's a way to provide a little bit of hospitality, if you will, while folks are sitting there waiting. Pharos is our wireless broadband solution, and the challenges of outdoor are obstacles, distance, management, power is another consideration, and environmental damage, not just from lightning, but other weather factors, whether it be dust, freezing temperatures, moisture. Those all affect outdoor wireless communication. And with that, we've designed our base station and CPE products. The passive PoE can support runs of up to 60 meters. That will get you up most antenna poles. The IP55, IP65 enclosures, again, those are designed to withstand the most demanding environments. The lightning strike, so each of the CPEs are grounded as well as the base station for a 600,000 volt lightning, 15 kilovolt ESD dissipation on each of those. For temperatures, we're looking at operating temperatures of -40 to 158 Fahrenheit. Humidity, those are non-condensing, so on the inside of the product. And if you guys have questions, we're more than happy to answer those on these products as well. When we look at the typical topology of a point-to-point, the idea here is we're looking to deliver internet or just connectivity to remote areas, and we don't want to run wiring. So whether this is a residential or this is business, and we're looking to create connectivity from one base station with an antenna connected to it to another base station, and then that may have a connection to a wireless internet provider, or we may be using this just for building-to-building connectivity within an enterprise or small business. So utilizing high-gain antennas, we can deliver a pointed or directed signal. We use MIMO technology at the base station and antennas, which increases our throughput, and all of those enclosures are IP65 rated, so that as they stand outside, they'll endure. When we look at our point-to-point solutions, the CPE 210, 220s are 2.4 gigahertz solutions, and when we look at our CPE 510, 520, those are 5 gig solutions. Now, these are rated, the 2.4, those are rated up to 30 kilometers, and the 5 gig is rated up to 50 kilometers. Obviously, your results may vary based on weather conditions, obstructions, but we have tested these all in real-life environments. The Pharos management system, again, is a free software, just like our AuroNet. We do not charge per seat, per client, or per server for installation. So as you're rolling it out, that's definitely a cost consideration. When we look at the AuroNet solution and the Pharos solution, we've got firmware capabilities within. You can manage all of the devices, all of your CPEs and base stations, keeping them all up to date on the latest firmware. We have speed test capabilities and spectrum analysis for troubleshooting. When we look at the modes, you can actually configure the mode of each of the device, whether it's AP, client mode, repeater. If you're working with a WISP, you can also set them up as router or client router. And that's all done right from the Pharos management system. So the other great thing that helps as you're deploying, we also have no need to reboot after reconfiguration. So if I'm switching modes, there's no longer a reboot required for those devices. A lot of times that creates a little bit of panic in an installer while you're waiting for a device to reboot. You're hoping it comes back up. The fact that you no longer need to reboot the device for a config change speeds up deployment and also helps with the confidence of your installer. When we look at some of the things that we can also do within the Pharos management system, there's device discovery. So just like the AuroNet software where we discover devices as they come on, same thing with Pharos. So device discovery and monitoring helps us determine devices that are on, that have come on to our network, as well as being able to configure them remotely. When we look at the map, we're able to quickly identify a device on a map. We don't have to look for it based on IP or MAC address. When we place our map within the Pharos software, we also then place where all of our base stations and CPE devices are. With that, we can also schedule maintenance. We can schedule firmware upgrades. We also get event notifications when there's trouble or when we're out of band on any one of those devices. That's all I have. I'd like to open it up right now to questions, if anybody's got any.
Thank you very much, Martin, for that presentation. We very much enjoyed it. I do have a couple questions for you. Let's start off with this first one. How many concurrent users can run on each individual access point?
Great question. So on the access points, we generally, our rule of thumb is we recommend less than 50 on the 2.4 gigahertz and less than 50 on the 2.5. When we look at density, you probably aren't going to have 100 people sitting within the range of a single access point anyway. But again, depends on your environment, and it depends on the applications that are running on those clients. If you've got high demand, you may want to limit the number of people based on demand, and that can all be done from within the Oranet software. Now, while the access point technically could handle 253 people based on IP addresses, we've got 16 different SSIDs that each one will support. So with that, when we look at the typical layout, most people run between 25 to 40, but they will run as high as 50. Now, that's per band, per device.
Thank you very much. Let me go on to the next question for you. Can you print the heat maps from the interface and utilize that data for system designs with customers? And if so, is it customizable, or does it always have the TP-Link logo?
So the UI is still going to have a TP-Link logo. And as far as the heat map, I'll have to check with whether or not that's printable. Can we contact that person after the webinar with a reply on that?
Of course, not a problem. Thank you. Let me go on to the next question. For the EAP320 and EAP330, do these access points come with PoE injectors?
So the PoE on these guys, they don't come with a PoE injector, but they do come with power supply, and they're both PoE capable. We do have PoE injectors available as an accessory to add on.
Thank you very much. Martin, can you tell us where your products are manufactured?
Products are manufactured by us out of our Shenzhen, China facility.
Thank you for that.
So just to give you an idea, so the size of the facility, if I'm not mistaken, it's 72 football fields worth of manufacturing. So that's our business products, our Soho products, cell phone, and smart home products are all manufactured there by us, and it's complete vertical manufacturing. So we make everything from the enclosures, the boards, everything's made on-site by us, unlike just about everybody else within the market.
Thank you, Martin. That's very impressive. Wow. A couple more questions for you. Does the CPE210 outdoor access point come with a mounting kit?
So it does come with the pole mount. If you're looking for other mounts, those would be within the accessories, but it does come with pole mount because we figure that's the most typical installation for that product.
Thank you for that. Last question here. What, if any, are the hours of your support, and can you give us an overview of the level of support that TP-Link offers?
Sure. So we have multiple support locations. We have support in the U.S., China, as well as the Philippines. So we have 24-hour support. So when you call, you will be hitting one of those 3 locations. I can't promise which one at which time. It all depends on load and the amount of questions. And with that, we've got tier 1, 2, and 3 support at all times. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for answering all of those questions. And thank you to everyone for attending today. And if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of these products mentioned and shown here today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And also please remember that this webinar presentation has been recorded, and I will be sure to upload it to our Microcom YouTube channel so it can be viewed again. Thank you, Martin, for your time. Your presentation was excellent. We very much enjoyed it, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day today.
Thank you.